Welcome back again, talking Lady Braves hoops with head coach John Haskins. Coach, we talked about the backcourt. I wanted to do a little bit about the front court now. You're pretty senior heavy there. You've got Courtney Bolton, Taylor Galentine, also Jasmine Hairston. Talk a little bit about the front court in general, what we're going to see there under the bucket.
Well, I think when you talk about up front, you talk about Courtney. You start with Courtney, who is an all-conference player, is a 4-year senior in our program. Has gotten better and better. She gives us a physical presence inside with her size. She's strong, can score with her back to the basket and still come away and shoot it a little bit. Was an all-conference player last year. Obviously, we missed her down the stretch with the concussion, and was actually just cleared a couple of days before we started practice. So missed some conditioning. She's got to get in better shape, but we're expecting big things out of her. Taylor Galentine last year, coming in as a junior college player, was a kid that you look at what she did on the floor statistically and nothing stood out. But she was one of those glue kids that you needed on the floor. She knew what we were doing. She was a very good defender. She didn't try to do what she couldn't do. She really bought into our system, so she did a great job. Obviously another senior, Jasmine Hairston, who is a very, very athletic player. We just got to slow Jasmine down a little bit. Jasmine plays, she's like a 45 that's sometimes playing on 78 RPMs. She's moving a little fast. We got to try to slow her down, just be fundamentally sound. But one of the best athletes we've got on our team is a great hustle person. Probably will come off the bench and give us a spark there. And then the other two girls is Kiera Haney. We call her Slim, and she's come a long way. She's got a little bit stronger. Has got a better understanding. Try to slow her down at times too, but she's going to be a good player for us. She can really rebound the basketball, particularly on the offensive end. Really long and gets it, and can defend because of her length. And then Haley McGee is, I think, much improved. She's played well in our exhibition games. She's been physical. She understands better what we're trying to do. So those are some kids I think that will contribute there.
Great. You and head coach, the men's head coach, Ben Miller, should be given a lot of credit for making your team very accessible this year to students, faculty, staff, the community, everybody during the preseason. Talk about yours and Coach Miller's reasoning for this.
Well, number one, I give a lot of credit to the men's coaching staff who've come up with a lot of good ideas of what we can do to be more accessible. But the thing I've always felt like when I was the men's coach here for 10 years and the 9 years I've been the women's head coach is we're your team in terms of the students, the faculty, the staff. We're UNC Pembroke's team. We want to be as accessible to them as we can. Do some things for them to generate some interest. The Moonlight Madness event, and Ben came up with the Meet the Faculty type thing, which I think is very good. And just let the faculty, number one, see kind of what our kids go through on a day-to-day basis, and get to know them better, and our kids get to know the faculty better outside of the classroom. So I think there's been some great initiatives by Ben.
And there's nothing that you and Coach Miller want to see more than a full crowd for
That's
some
great.
of our games.
That's great. And the one thing I will say on Wednesday nights when we've got students here, we get very good crowds, going out through the league and playing at different sites in the league. I think our student involvement's as good as anybody in the league, and we hope that continues. That's
great news. Well, let's talk about your exhibition. You had one against UNCW. What were you looking for in this game, and what did you like, what did you not like?
Well, the Division I team, they're going to be a little stronger, a little quicker. We wanted to go out and compete. I think for the most part we did that. We got out physical a little bit. The first thing I'll say is in our early exhibitions, we felt like we had a lot of work to do with our defense. We've always felt like we are a solid defensive team. We saw some improvements in the Wilmington game. We made some turnovers that allowed some fast break layups for them, and we gave them some second opportunities. But our defense on the whole is getting better, and we're pleased with that. I think the other thing is when people start to get after us a little bit, because we play a more conservative type defense, and when people get out and pressure a little bit, we've got to stick to our guns and make sure we're disciplined enough to run our offense. And that was the big thing. Sometimes against Wilmington we weren't. Sometimes in the Mount Olive scrimmage we took some bad shots, but we ran our offense better. So just staying disciplined and make sure we're getting the kind of shots we want.
All right, Coach, well, your season opener is right around the corner. It's actually today as this airs, November the 10th, on the road. You play in the Ortha Carolina Classic against in Wingate against Newberry. What do you know about the Lady Wolves, and how important is it to start the season with a win?
Well, Newberry on Saturday, Wingate on Sunday, two very good SAC teams up toward the top of the SAC. They're upper echelon Peach Belt type teams, so it'll be a good test for us. And You know, winning and losing, I mean, obviously we're going to try to win. We want to play the best of our abilities and see what happens, but we just want to go out and do our stuff and play hard.
All right, Coach, we're looking forward to an exciting season of Lady Braves baseball, and good luck this season.
Thank you.
That's all the time that we have for this week's edition of the Black and Gold Report. Until next week, go Braves.